There's a muscle most people ignore after 50, and honestly, it could be the reason you're losing strength quicker than ever. I've watched clients turn things around just by focusing here. Today, I'm going to reveal what that muscle is and the right way to train it so you can keep your strength for life. The muscle group we're talking about today is the glutes. And after age 50, if you're not working them directly, they can become weak very fast. We see this in the clinic all the time, and it can be the cause of a whole host of problems. The first problem caused by weak glutes is knee pain. And your glutes control the alignment of your thigh bone. So if they're weak, the thigh bone ends up crossing inwards, which puts pressure on the inside of the knee, and that can cause knee pain. The second problem caused by weak glutes is back pain. And when you've got weak glutes, your back is largely unprotected when you bend and when you move and when you twist. And the back muscles have to do much more work than they were designed to do. Now, one large study found that weak glutes were a stronger predictor of back pain than the state of someone's spine on an X-ray. Think about how crazy that is. The strength of these muscles had more influence over back pain than the actual wear and tear within their spine. The third problem that weak glutes can cause is instability and a lack of balance on your feet. Because the glutes control the stability of your pelvis, if they're not strong, your pelvis can drop to one side, which can affect your balance badly. But the good news is you can strengthen your glutes with this 10-minute routine just done twice or 3 times per week. So I'm going to show you the exact exercises to do now. But before I show you them, I just need to make you aware they're not suitable for everyone, and please avoid the ones that cause you pain. The first exercise you can do that will seriously improve your glute strength is the seated band abduction. And I like this exercise because you can do it from a seated position, but you just need one of these, which is a resistance band loop. You can get them very cheaply online, but they're well worth it for the investment for what you get. So I'm going to show you how to do this exercise. So you need to put your band like this around both legs, and you want the band to be sat just above your knees. Now you can choose to sit back into your backrest, which I would recommend if you're just getting started, or if you have back pain, or if you're a bit more advanced, come away from the backrest like this. I'm going to show you with my back away from it. And all we want to do here is keep your feet underneath your knees, but then push your knees out into the bands without lifting your feet off the floor, and then hold. So it's a very simple movement, but it's not always easy to do because you have to engage your brain to connect to those glutes to allow you to push out for this to be effective. And what I recommend for most people is to push out into the band, hold for 3 to 5 seconds, and then relax and repeat 10 to 20 times in a row. Now, at the end of the set, when you finish that set, you should feel an achiness in here, in these upper glute muscles. That is exactly what you should feel. If you don't feel that, your band is too weak. You need to find a stronger band, or you need to focus more on activating the correct muscles. And one of the ways to do that, the cue here, is to keep your feet down. You can push a little bit down into the ground and then push out. And it should feel like your buttocks are almost squeezing together as the legs go out. That means that things are in the right place. So again, 3 sets of that each day will make a massive difference. Let's move on to the second exercise. But before I show you it, if you're one of the many people who's serious about improving your strength and mobility, I've got a special gift for you. It's called the Stronger for Life Roadmap. And essentially what it is a list of exercises and guidance to help you get to the next level of strength and mobility, no matter what level you're starting from. So you answer 10 questions. It tells you which one of our 3 stages of mobility you're at. And based on your answers, it will tell you what to do to get to the next stage. It's 100% free, and you can sign up for it in the description box below this video. The second great exercise you can do to build your glutes is the standing hip abduction. And this is such a nice exercise to do because you only need something to hold on to do it, and you can do it anytime, any place. Here is how it looks. So you're going to stand up and you're going to put your hands either on a wall or on a kitchen worktop, something to give you some stability, and we're going to work one leg at a time. I'm going to show you the easy version, then I'll show you the more advanced version. So first of all, we're going to start by taking all your weight over onto one side to free the working leg, and then using that working leg, you're going to keep it straight, but take it out to the side and slightly behind you, until you can't go any further and then come back in. But the key point with this movement here is you're not going to move the upper half of your body. So if you look at my body, it's completely upright. I'm not leaning, I'm not doing that. It's completely straight, and then we just take it out and then back in. And that slight backwards diagonal helps you to isolate the glute without using this little muscle at the front here called the tensor fasciae lata, which we don't really need to strengthen in most people. So that's the easy one. You're going to keep going 10 to 20 reps, 3 sets over with a 1 minute break. But if that's too easy and you can do way more than 20, you need to get yourself one of these, which is a nice little resistance band loop. And then you're going to repeat, if that was too easy, using the band. So you put the band around your ankles, set yourself up exactly the same way, all your weight over onto one side, and then pull into the band and then back in. And you might find that you can't go out quite so far when you're using the band, because the further out you go, the weaker the glute is, but that's totally fine. And you might feel that this muscle engages more and you get that achiness happening between 10 and 20 reps with the resistance. So do that on both sides, and then you can move on to the next movement. The final exercise for this glute strength routine is called the modified clam. And this is an exercise I learned from hip specialist Mehmet Cem, who's one of the go-to people in the UK if you've got a hip problem. He taught us loads when he came in, and this is the exercise I want to share with you. So you lie on your side like this. You might have seen the traditional clam before, which is when you've got your knee and your hips bent up to 90 degrees and you lift that top knee. Well, what Mehmet said is you're much better off, rather than having your hip up like this, if you push your thighs away from you, keep the 90-degree bend in your knee like this, and then instead of keeping your heels together, you're going to lift both heel and knee at the same time and then drop it back down. And this is a really nice exercise if you're somewhere in between a clam and a full straight leg hip raise like this, which is much harder. So if you keep your knees bent, you're going to push those knees away from you. It does make sense just to tilt your body forward a little bit, just to isolate the glute, and then lift that whole leg up in the air like this, and then back down. And almost instantly, I can feel that glute there kick in, much better probably than when I do the straightforward clam. And that might just be my body mechanics, because different exercises work well for different people, but I found this to be super effective at getting those glutes firing much quicker than some of the other exercises I see people do for their glutes. So again, with this exercise, the goal here is to do 10 to 20 repetitions of it, and then do the other side and repeat 3 times over as part of this workout. Now, if that was too easy for you, you're just going to extend that top knee and then do the same movement but with a straight leg. And the reason you want to do this is because it lengthens the lever, so it makes your leg heavier in effect, and that makes it harder to do the exercise. So if you're a bit more advanced, keep the leg nice and straight, but for most people, start with your knee bent and just focus on really, really good technique. So that is a brilliant glute workout that you can use to strengthen those key muscles. I hope you found this useful. If you have, do drop us a comment below and let us know, because we love to read your thoughts and your suggestions for future videos. There's another video on the screen right now which will show you how to build even stronger glutes, but also the strength of the other key muscles in your legs too. So click on that if you're interested, and I'll see you again on the next one.